record? Great. Well, good evening, Hope Dealers, and welcome. To say that I am excited to bring Kim Hoffman into your lives is an understatement. Hopefully y'all can see Kim on my screen. She's right in the big middle, so I hope she's staying in there on yours. And Kim and I, of course, met, as you have heard me say, at Donna Johnson's when the NVPs were able to go a day early for the leadership retreat. And Kim has been a consultant with Arbonne 24 years. She's been an NVP since 2005. And I thought about, well, some of the names that you would recognize, Kim, I think I have all this right, but a part of your organization is that Kim sponsored Linda Lovelace, who sponsored Christy Dreiling, Valerie Edwards, and I can't keep up with it after that. And that's just, did I get that part right?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's many more parts. And I thought about asking Kim to send me a bio so that I could read to you all of her accomplishments in Arbonne. But I thought, you know what? The accomplishment or the quality that I want to share, she wouldn't have put on the bio. So I'm making up my own Kim, because it's so true that with all of Kim's years as an MVP, she had been to Donna's Lake House probably 14 times, Maui that many times, who knows how many other Arbonne conferences and retreats. Kim knew so many people there very well. She had friends in every direction, but she saw me. She noticed me. She saw the new MVP who knew only one other person there. And believe me, everyone was welcoming. I expected everyone to be welcoming. I expected it to feel like one big family, and it did. But there were a couple who stood out, who really, really invested in me. And Kim, you were one of them, who just one of those two special ones who really poured into me and saw, you know, my need, and really just gave of yourself so freely to me. And when I told you about Rachel coming the next day, you didn't just say, yeah, I'll come say hi to you. You found us, you made time for Rachel, you poured into her, and, you know, one-on-one. And I just so appreciate that. And you wouldn't have written that in a bio, but that's what I want my team to know about you. And when I was thanking Kim for that a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about this call, and I think you said something, Kim, about, you know, no one should ever forget what it's like to be a brand new MVP. And I feel like so many times when I am training, I've never forgotten what it's like to be that brand new consultant, that team of one. And so this is Kim. This is the Kim who I got to know, and I'm going to close my mouth and give her every minute of time, and y'all just get to know this beautiful heart who I got to know. And thank you for being with us.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Dina. It's so great to be with you all. Good evening. And, you know, my role tonight is to just spread the excitement, spread the love, spread the hope that you have in this company, and the confidence that you can have in this company, because I believe all those things will lead to the success for you. So, first of all, I want to tell you how much I love Dina and how blessed you all are to have such a radiant leader. Her passion and her love for you was so evident when we talked right there at Donna's at the lake house. And she's just a servant-hearted leader. She has a servant heart. And I was just so taken by her. So just know that you are in just an amazing team and with such amazing leadership. And I'm just proud and happy to be asked, and very humbled to be asked to be a part of this tonight. So thank you for having me. So a little bit about me, because I think my journey will speak to you, many of you on this call. And that is, as you know, I've been with Arbonne for 24 years, but what you don't know is that I went district my first month in the business. And I want to speak to those of you that are consultants that are not a district yet. And the reason that I went district in 1 month was very simple. I looked at that compensation plan and I thought, raise your hand for me so I can see those of you on tonight. How many of you are consultants, not yet districts? Okay, so I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to those of you that will be watching this recording, and those that you will sponsor and bring into the business. And I looked at that compensation plan and I thought, I am going to be leaving money on the table and missing the financial boat if I don't get to district as quickly as possible. And I knew that meant 6,000 in sales in 1 month, bringing on new consultants. It was consultants only back at that time. There weren't such a thing as preferred clients. And so I went district right away. I told everybody about this company. I got product on them. It was just everybody within 10 feet knew about Arbonne. And then the next month I went into qualification for area and finished area by the end of my 3rd month in the business. Now this is where it gets interesting. I stayed an area manager for 8 years. 8 years. And this was my journey. And I believe one of the reasons that I'm able to lead a team of all shapes and sizes and all personality types is because I wasn't that person that flew to the top of the company. I had a journey, I have a story, and I had a story that I was telling myself. So I want to make sure that you know that the stories that are in your head are what you're telling yourself. And that's what you're going to hear. And so that voice is so important that it be positive and that it be truth. And so here was my story. My story was I already owned a business. I own an international model and talent agency. And I've owned that for over 3 decades. And I modeled as a teenager right out of high school. I was supervising models, teachers that were 3 times my age, honestly, and never went to a day of college. And so fast forward, I'm still very involved in that business as well as Arbonne. So if you're on with us tonight and you already are working a career or you own another company, welcome aboard, because I'm here to tell you, you can do both and you can be successful at both. I also am a mom of a 14-year-old daughter who's going to be 15 next month, and I'm also married. And I have a very, very busy life. But back to my area manager days. So I told myself my story was that I didn't have the time to be a regional vice president, manager of a region, and that I didn't think I would be good at it because I didn't have the time. And what would happen if I failed at this because I was already so involved in my other career? Those were all lies from the pit of hell. And I am here to tell you that that is the voice I heard. That is the story I told myself, and it certainly wasn't serving me. So I earned every Arbonne incentive trip, and I would highly encourage all of you to, number one, earn those trips. Why? Because it's good for you to be there. It's good for your team to see you there. Number two, it's good for your significant other to be there with you and build their hope and their belief in Arbonne. Because what do the men do? They sit out by the pool and talk all day long. And you never know what husband or boyfriend your husband is going to be sitting next to. Or even if you bring a friend, you know, they're going to have Arbonne poured on them because you're with the creme de la creme. So I had earned this Arbonne incentive trip, and I'm walking through the Atlantis Resort, and Rita Davenport walked up to me, and she's our former president at Arbonne, and she said, I want to know what's stopping you. And she's looking right at me. And I was with Linda Lovelace at the time. And she said, what's stopping you? And I said, I don't know what you mean. I mean, I'm an area manager. And she said, no, what's keeping you from region? And I said, well, Rita, it's not like I'm at home sitting there eating bonbons. I run an entire business. I'm managing 200 models, careers, and blah, blah, blah. I made excuses is what I did. And she said, let me tell you something. I want you to journal while you're here. And I want you to ask yourself the question, what's holding you back? And so one of the things I'm going to ask all of you to do with me tonight is make a note to yourself that after this event tonight, I'd like you to write some things to yourself. And I would like you to ask the question, what's holding me back from being a district manager, an executive district manager, an area manager, wherever your level is, level up. Okay? What is that? What's holding you back? because I truly believe if you've been where you are for quite a while, there is something holding you back, and you may not even know what it is. I did not know what it was. So guess what? On the way home from the Atlantis, I read my journal, and it was very clear to me that I had two words: fear and doubt. And doubt was keeping me out. And so I went home with a newfound love and passion, and newfound love and passion for Arbonne, solid belief. Because one of the things that you probably don't know is that on these Arbonne incentive trips, there's incredible training as well by the top leaders in Arbonne. And so I saw that I had those two things. I went home and within 11 months promoted to region. And a year later, less than a year later, I promoted to nation. So 2 years and I was a national. 8 years, I was a regional, or excuse me, an area manager. So you see, it's so much what's in here. And so that is important that I share that with you. So when I first started in Arbonne and I was a district, I had an event at my agency and I called it a private business reception. And I invited a lot of people. My sponsor was there. She presented Arbonne. We talked about ingredients. We shared, what's not in our products. One of the things being, of course, mineral oil and petrolatum and so on. That's one of the many things I so believe in Arbonne is the quality and the efficacy of our products. And Linda was there, Linda Lovelace, who's an executive national vice president. She's in the top 50 income earners in the company. She was selling for another line. I did not know that. I invited her to come to this. She thought maybe it just had something to do with the agency, and she thought I should come if I've been invited. I loved that. She did come. And on the way out of the door that night, she said something. She said, I just want you to know I'm already in another company, but I really want to thank you for letting me come here tonight. And I have a question for you. How many of you would have said thank you and I appreciate you coming, and you would have let her walk out the door? And I said, well, Linda, you know what? I said, I would like you to take home this set. And I want nothing more than to get your opinion on what you think of our products. Because I value, this is really important. Write that down. I value your opinion. And you know what happened. She called me the next day and she said, oh my goodness, I tried these products. I looked at the ingredients of the line I'm selling. Mineral oil and petrolatum is at the very top. And aloe vera, the ingredient that I'm so proud of that's in our products, is way down below. I want to get started. Now, today, she says to everyone, the thing that got her was the words, I value your opinion. And that is almost historical for me, right? So that's how Linda Lovelace joined Arbonne. I value your opinion. And as a result of that, that one yes has led to a huge global team. The biggest part of my team is in Australia because Linda took a trip to Australia, and she has a huge organization there of leaders. Christy Dreiling has a huge organization there as well. It is just, it's amazing. But, so much of the time, ladies, we get so caught up in the numbers. And I want to remind you, yes, it's important to over-invite for events. It is. Because if you invite 10, you might be lucky if 1 or 2 or 3 show up. But you must also remember that one person can change the whole trajectory of your business. Just one person. And when I think about it like that, it's not overwhelming, is it? Just one person. So I want you to think for a second. Who is that one person that's on your dream team? Haley and Sarah and Dina, Connolly, Shannon. I'm looking at all of you, Allison, Crystal. Write down that name right now of who you want on your team. Is it Carissa and Amber? Is it Jasmine? How do you say that? Jasmeet. Yes. I want all of you, Crystal, I said you, Allison, I got you. I want all of you to write that name down. Hi, Rachel, Jamie. Thank you all for being on. Write that one person down. Don't overthink it. Oh, she doesn't need the money. Oh, she lives in a beautiful house. No, 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 no. Don't overthink it. Who's the one person? If you knew they wouldn't say no, who is it? Write it down. If you knew they wouldn't say no. Now, think of somebody that if you saw them at an Arbonne event with someone else that you would cry. Who is that person? Because maybe that hasn't happened to you, but I would venture to tell you that it's going to happen to you. It's happening here in Kansas City. It's happened before, and we're in huge growth. We are growing like crazy. And we're going to be $1 billion company this year. I believe that very strongly. And I really believe that we're going to be a household name. And the question is, where do you want to be? How much do you want to be paid on? Do you want to be an area manager or regional vice president? Where do you want to be when we hit that point? Ask yourself that question. So the power of yes is huge. I don't want to leave anything out here. So you don't need to be in Arbonne a long time to build a huge business. You know, in fact, I would tell you that when you promote to your next level, wherever that is for you, don't take your foot off the gas pedal. That's a big mistake that we make. You know, you can celebrate for a few hours, even a day if you want, but it's what happens is, you see, we promote to area or region or nation and we rest. We take a break. We want to celebrate. And then what happens is, guess what we lose? That M word called momentum. Maybe some of you can relate to that, but that's really important that you don't rest. And then a quote that I have for you is just that your network is your net worth. And some of you have an incredible network, but some of you know people that have incredible networks also. And those are the people I'm going to challenge you to get in front of. And I'm old school, but what sells Arbonne to me is the products. And I love to get the products on people. So I have events that I get the products on people. And for me, an event is having someone come over to my house or 3 or 4 women come to my house, nothing fancy. And I put the products right here on the table and put mirrors in front of each person. And we play in the products. We play in the makeup. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. The problem is that we overthink it and we make it like it has to be so formal. No, actually you get better results, I think, when it's not. So I think the best thing that I could tell you is, you know, build for each and every event, whether it's a DA or an Experience Arbonne. In Kansas City, we do a Discover Arbonne once a month, and we do an Experience Arbonne several times throughout the month too. So an experience just means they experience the products, and a discover, of course, is hearing about the business. But even in Experience Arbonne, we still do the 3 ways to win at the end. We still do a close. We still invite them to become a client or a preferred client or a consultant. We also put connector in there. So we really have 4 ways to win, because a connector might be somebody that says, you know, I'm not interested, but I know somebody who would be. And then I always say, well, we reward our connectors very generously with products. Dina and I talked about too how important it is that you're generous to your guests. You know, when you invite guests to come to a Discover, you know, have a little gift there for them. And, oh, they feel so special. And now again, you're getting that product on them, aren't you? So give them a great body lotion or a night cream or something that they're really going to feel special. Very, very smart. So now I'm going to talk about the 3 pillars of priority here. And the first is to believe in yourself. And believing in yourself, in my opinion, is one of the most important things. Who do you know that strongly believes in themselves? Write that person's name down. You want to contact that person. You want to have belief in the company Arbonne. And you want to have belief in our industry, which is network marketing. So build your belief in those 3 areas, but never ever forget to believe in yourself and to work on yourself. That is so huge. I love this. Truly, thoughts are things. And that's the first sentence in the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Truly, thoughts are things. And one thing you'll hear me talk about probably more than anything, because in my agency, I work with men and women and children and teens and tweens. And the one thing that everybody comes to me for is not how to be more beautiful or to stand more beautifully or to take a great picture. It's to have more self-confidence. So that's what I've done for 32 years, is to teach people to believe in themselves. And you know what? There's just such a need for it. And in Arbonne, I believe that is why we are a blessed company and we are doing so incredibly well, is that we're teaching this out to our teams. And some people will take it and run with it, and some people won't. But truly, I say to you that whatever you want your check to be, that lid that you might be putting on yourself is based on your self-worth, your self-confidence. I always ask people, tell me what you want to do. What is your why? We all know that. And when I get to their why, I ask them, how much money do you want to make per month with Arbonne? And I hear everything from $250 a month to $10,000 a month. And what's your amount? What's the amount that you would put or say? If you could write yourself a check right now for what you feel your worth is, what is that? And guess what? I've got good news for you. You control your paycheck in Arbonne. No one else, no boss, no one telling you that you can't have that 15-minute break or you can't get off to go to your daughter's recital. No one telling you can't stay home with your child who's sick. No one telling you that you can't have that raise, because guess what? You can get a raise anytime you want. It's called promote another district manager. It's called promote another area manager. It's called bonusing. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So how much in the day are you spending on personal development? And if you want to grow your check, increase that amount. So if it's 10 minutes a day, raise it to 20 and watch your check double. I know Jerry Roisentool, you're working with Jerry coming up, and he has worked with me and my team for years, and I'm a huge, huge fan of Jerry. So just know that he is the king of self-talk. He is the person that has taught me so much about putting a lid on myself or my business, my employees, my team, my family, my daughter. And when I hear that language and I hear it in people, I recognize immediately what it is. For instance, it's the 20th of the month and I'm on the phone with a team member and she says, well, I've already sponsored 3 this month. I'm really happy with where we are. And I said, so you've stopped? You've stopped, you've put a lid on it. Right now you're done. You can sponsor 5 more people this month. You're right, I can. If I've sponsored 3, I can sponsor 5 more. I said, exactly. So when we put a lid on ourselves, it's us telling ourselves, hey, I've done okay, I'm done. And in Arbonne, you don't stop until the very, very end of the month. Because I'm here to tell you, wherever you are right now this month, there's more that you can give. There's more people that you can help. There's more lives that you can change. So now, let's write down our date. When do you want to be a district manager, an area manager, an RVP and NVP? Just your next level. What's your next level? Whatever that is, write down the date right now. And please make sure you put a year. Put a year. We've talked about how much you want to be making. And then I'm going to ask you, would you do me a favor and share this with your upline tonight or tomorrow? Let them know, this is Connolly and I want to be an area manager by December 31st of 2019. Whatever it is. And then your upline can help you. But if you're one of those that thinks you can do this on your own, like you're a singles tennis player, I want to tell you right now, this is a team sport. And you know who I help? I help the people that reach out to me. They text me, they call me, and they let me know, hey, I need you to call and talk to such and such. She needs an encouraging call today. Or would you help me with a 3-way call tomorrow at 2:00? Absolutely. So don't think you're bugging us to help you. I want to make that very clear. Don't think you're bugging us to help you. This is what we want to do. This is how we get paid, is by seeing you successful. And I'm going to go off topic here for a second because I have to share this. Last night, we did an event called Drinks and Dreams. And I'm going to tell Dina more about this. It's just something brand new we did last night for the first time. So I don't have an outline or anything, but I just know that it's cool. It's fun, and it was amazing. And I'm driving home after this event, and I'm thinking, pinch me somebody that I get paid to have this much fun. This is not work. Raise your hand if you work and you have a really tough career other than Arbonne. Raise your hand. Yeah. See, there you go. And so I'm telling you, this is not tough. This is just called duplication. But one of the girls that was there last night, she works for, I won't say the name of the company, but just know that she had sold knives. And she was doing very well with this company. And then the company, after this family had bought a bunch of knives from her, over $1,000 in knives, the company sent a catalog to this girl's client. And that family started buying knives from the company. She was completely cut out of all commissions. My mouth was wide open. Arbonne would never, ever do anything like that to us. So you can take confidence and know and have faith that that will never happen. Now, I have a question. Does your activity and your calendar match what you wanted to earn? You know what you wrote down that you want to earn? Does your activity and what's in your calendar right now match that? And the cool thing is that you're not going to beat yourself up about it, because we can almost all say, hey, no, really it doesn't. But tonight is, it's the start of a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. And you control your activity. But cleaning your office and organizing your office and making flyers, those are all non-income producing activities. And the one thing that we got just drilled in our head 24 years ago in Nashville, Tennessee, was focus on income producing activity. And that's sharing what we do, getting product on people, having events, one-on-ones, all of those things. And my team, just like you all, we focus on 40 faces. We focus on the daily method of success because it keeps us on track. Those are all great things to keep us focused, because it's so easy to get distracted, isn't it? The 80-20 rule. So for those of you that have teams, even if it's a team of one, the 80-20 rule is nothing but this. 80% of the time you spend on night finding new team members, and 20% of the time you're working with people that already have ID numbers. Now, I'm going to be honest here and be very transparent. When I sponsored Linda and I were running together. I mean, we were on fire. We were having so much fun. Our first GTC that we went to wasn't called that back in the day. Are you ready for this? There were 500 people there. And Rita Davenport said, you all need to stop keeping this a secret, because if you keep this a secret much longer, we're not going to be in business. And I remember thinking, I kind of like it like this, though. It's small, it's intimate. I know pretty much everybody. It was kind of nice. But she's right. If we're going to grow and take it to the next level and the next level and the next level, we've got to share this. Well, Linda and I are sitting there watching all these people go up on the stage. And we said to each other, next year, we're going to come back and we're going to be on that stage. And Linda was up on that stage for top and sponsoring in the top 10. I was up on that stage for the top in sales. I want to tell you a little story. I looked at her check, and her check was way bigger than mine. Now, keep in mind, I sponsored her. But she was sponsoring, and I was sponsoring, but not like she was. She never sponsored less than 5 personal a month. How many are you personally sponsoring a month? Because we all know that some of those are going to stick and some of those aren't going to stick. But I was selling and she was sponsoring. So it's perfect to have that balance, isn't it? The balance of selling and sponsoring. But her check was a lot bigger. And that was a really good visual because I'm a visual learner. And so when I saw that check, that's when I got my sponsoring in gear. So we've talked about who are the people that you want to have on your team. I would encourage you to reach out to those people. You know, Susie, I just had to call you today. I don't know what you're doing, but I just want to take 2 minutes of your time and just tell you that you're on my mind because you are such an incredible, caring person and you love people and you are such a vivacious, fun person. I would love to have you on my team with Arbonne. I know you'd be great at this. And you probably don't even know what I do, but I just want you to know that if you ever want to hear more or learn more, I would love to talk with you. And just be quiet then. And you might be surprised what she might say back to you. So keep that in mind, because to me, I have to know that I at least asked somebody. Because if I see them on the other side of the room, I've had it happen to me, and it wasn't on my team. It was with another Kansas City team. I had to go out in the lobby of the hotel where the DA was being held. I had a good cry, clean myself up, and I had to go back in. And this person has never done anything with it. But do you know what it did for me? It put a fire under me that will not happen again. So there you go. So we are in huge growth mode. You all know that. But I believe that starts with me. And it starts with us as the leaders. And then you catch it, and then your team catches it, and then the community catches it, and then the world catches it. So a couple of things. I'm closing now. Think about an abundance mindset. Listen to what you're saying to yourself. You know, I saw someone put on the chat that they have an unsupportive husband. And, you know, I understand that. I mean, I have a very supportive husband, but I want to tell you how you get a supportive husband. And that is show them the money. Who says they agree with me? Raise your hand. You agree with me? When you show them the money, they are suddenly supportive. Linda Lovelace had a very unsupportive husband. I've had lots of team members that have had unsupportive husbands. I'm here to tell you, you can be so wildly successful. And then you're going to have that as a part of your story of how to get them supportive, how to get them supportive of you. And number one, include them, but show them the money. So back to abundance mindset, no scarcity mindset. No, I can't afford to go to GTC. That's scarcity mindset. Or I can't afford to go to Impact. Think of the world of abundance. If you want abundance, think that way. And a mindset of gratitude, you know, just being grateful for where you are, what you have, no matter where you are, even if you're just a team of one. And, you know, we play hurt, we do it anyway. You know, sometimes there's issues or challenges in our lives, but we continue on. We continue to build our businesses. You know, when Valerie Edwards had her stroke, she was in her 30s, and she was at an Arbonne function in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. And gosh, I get choked up just thinking about it. She fell down onto the floor and went into the fetal position, they said. And fortunately, someone knew that they should call, of course, 911, but that something was going on. Well, she'd had a stroke, and she woke up in the hospital, and she was going to be bedridden for at least 30 to 60 days. What do you suppose her team did while she was recovering? They rallied, and the biggest checks that she'd ever gotten were during that time where she was recovering. That's the value of love. That's the value of teamwork. That's the value of community. That's the value of Arbonne. This is what we do. We pull together, and it is a beautiful thing. You know, if you could see through my eyes right now, you would take down the doors and you would just go out and spread the word. I've seen a lot. I mean, think about it. We faxed applications 24 years ago to Arbonne, if you can imagine. I've seen a lot, and I've seen a lot of growth, but I've never seen a time like right now, right here. And I want to just tell you, you are certainly in the right place at the right time and in the right company. And I want to thank you, Dina, for sharing with your beautiful team tonight. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, Kim, thank you. Wish you could just hear all our applause from all over everywhere. We're so appreciative of you and all of you who are newer. I mean, this is so representative of the culture of Arbonne. We are in no way, shape, or form in any part of Kim's success line. She is not benefiting, financially by being on this call with us tonight. She did it. She's doing it back. You got me where I can't even talk, Kim. She's doing it because she cares, because she looked here and saw, a new MVP who, you get here and you think this is where you've arrived. It's where I've arrived in first grade all over again to learn. And I am so appreciative of mentors like you who really care and just choose to give and invest. And I look forward to doing that to the next new MVP who I see. Oh, here's all the chats. Great. Can you read all that, Kim? Okay. There's a million thank yous popping up there. If
you are so welcome.
And so this means the world to me. You just showed my team again in such a tangible way what the culture of Arbonne looks like and how you have given to all of us. So thank you. Thank you. I can't wait to see you in Maui, and I can't wait till all the rest of you are out there all clapping for you. All clap for you together. I love you, Kim.
Thank you all. I love you too. Go to the top, everyone. There's plenty of room. We want you with us. Love you all.
Dealers. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.